Have you ever wondered whether Atlantis was just a story or a forgotten chapter of human history? For over 2,000 years, the legend of Atlantis has captured the imagination of philosophers, explorers, archaeologists, and dreamers alike. A powerful island civilization, advanced beyond its time, rich, technologically sophisticated, and ultimately destroyed in a single day and night of catastrophe. But was Atlantis ever real? The story begins with the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. Around 360 BCE, in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Plato described Atlantis as a mighty maritime empire located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we now associate with the Strait of Gibraltar. According to him, Atlantis was a utopian society, highly organized, wealthy, and militarily dominant, until its people became corrupt. As punishment, the gods sent earthquakes and floods, and the island sank into the sea. For many scholars, that's where the story ends. A moral allegory, a philosophical warning about hubris and the fall of civilizations. Plato often used fictional societies to illustrate political and ethical ideas. So Atlantis, in this view, was simply a storytelling device. But others believe there may be more beneath the surface. Over the centuries, countless theories have emerged. Some suggest Atlantis may have been inspired by the eruption of the island of Thera, modern-day Santorini, around 1600 BCE. This volcanic explosion devastated the nearby Minoan civilization on Crete. Massive tsunamis, ash clouds, and widespread destruction could have echoed through oral traditions, eventually evolving into Plato's account. Others have pointed to locations in the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean, even Antarctica. In the early 20th century, American psychic Edgar Cayce claimed Atlantis would rise again near the Bahamas. More recently, underwater formations near the coast of Cuba have sparked speculation, though no definitive archaeological evidence has confirmed a lost advanced civilization. So why does Atlantis endure? Because it speaks to something deeper than geography. Atlantis represents the idea that civilizations can rise to incredible heights and still fall. It reflects our fear that progress without wisdom leads to collapse. In many ways, Atlantis feels less like ancient history and more like a mirror held up to our modern world. We build towering cities, we master technology, we expand globally, yet we face environmental instability, political division, and ethical dilemmas about power and responsibility. The Atlantis story asks a haunting question: are we immune to the same fate? From a scientific perspective, there is currently no credible archaeological evidence that confirms Atlantis as described by Plato ever existed. Most historians classify it as myth or allegory. But myth does not mean meaningless. Some myths preserve fragments of real events. Some encode historical trauma in symbolic form. Perhaps Atlantis was not a single city. Perhaps it was a memory of catastrophe. Or perhaps it was Plato's way of reminding future generations, including us, that power without virtue is fragile. The mystery remains unsolved. And maybe that's the point. Because as long as Atlantis is unproven, it lives in that powerful space between fact and imagination, a place where curiosity thrives. So what do you think? Was Atlantis a lost civilization waiting to be rediscovered, or a philosophical warning disguised as history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy exploring ancient mysteries, forgotten civilizations, and the strange corners of our world, subscribe and join the journey. Because sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't about what we find, they're about what we question.